"What is to be done? What would you have us do?" asks many a one, with a tone of impatience, almost of reproach. And then, if you mention some one thing, some 2 things, 20 things that might be done, turns round with a satirical tee-hee, and "These are your remedies?" The state of mind indicated by such question, and such rejoinder, is worth reflecting on. It seems to be taken for granted by these interrogative philosophers that there is some thing or handful of things which could be done, some act of parliament, remedial measure or the like, which could be passed, whereby the social malady were fairly fronted, conquered, put an end to, so that, with your remedial measure in your pocket, you could then go on triumphant, and be troubled no farther. "You tell us the evil," cry such persons, as if justly aggrieved, "and do not tell us how it is to be cured." How is it to be cured? Brothers, I am sorry I have got no Morrison's pill for curing the maladies of society. It were infinitely handier if we had a Morrison's pill, Act of Parliament, or remedial measure, which men could swallow one good time and then go on in their old courses, cleared from all miseries and mischiefs. Unluckily, we have none such. Unluckily, the heavens themselves, in their rich pharmacopoeia, contain none such. There will no thing be done that will cure you. There will a radical, universal alteration of your regimen and way of life take place. There will a most agonizing divorce between you and your chimeras, luxuries and falsities take place. A most toilsome, all but impossible return to nature, and her veracities and her integrities take place, that so the inner fountains of life may again begin, like eternal light fountains, to irradiate and purify your bloated, swollen, foul existence, drawing nigh, as at present, to nameless death. Either death, or else all this will take place. Judge if, with such diagnosis, any Morrison's pill is like to be discoverable. But the life fountain within you once again set flowing, what innumerable things, whole sets and classes and continents of things, year after year, decade after decade, and century after century, will then be doable and done. Not emigration, education, corn law abrogation, sanitary regulation, land property tax. Not these alone, nor 1,000 times as much as these. Good heavens! There will then be light in the inner heart of here and there a man, to discern what is just, what is commanded by the Most High God, what must be done, were it never so impossible. Vain jargon in favour of the palpably unjust will then abridge itself within limits. Vain jargon, on hustings, in parliaments or wherever else, when here and there a man has vision for the essential God's truth of things jargoned of, will become very vain indeed. The silence of here and there such a man, how eloquent in answer to such jargon! Such jargon, frightened at its own gaunt echo, will unspeakably abate, nay, for a while, may almost in a manner disappear, the wise answering it in silence, and even the simple taking cue from them to hoot it down wherever heard. It will be a blessed time, and many things will become doable. And when the brains are out, an absurdity will die. Not easily again shall a corn law argue 10 years for itself, and still talk and argue, when impartial persons have to say with a sigh that, for so long back, They have heard no argument advance for it, but such as might make the angels and almost the very jackasses weep. Holy a blessed time, when jargon might abate, and here and there some genuine speech begin. When to the noble opened heart, as to such heart they alone do, all noble things began to grow visible, and the difference between just and unjust, between true and false, between work and sham work, between speech and jargon, was once more what to our happier fathers it used to be, infinite, as between a heavenly thing and an infernal. The one a thing which you were not to do, which you were wise not to attempt doing, which it were better for you to have a millstone tied round your neck and be cast into the sea than concern yourself with doing. Brothers, it will not be a Morrison's pill or a remedial measure that will bring all this about for us. And yet, very literally, till, in some shape or other, it be brought about, we remain cureless. Till it begin to be brought about, the cure does not begin. For nature and fact, not red tape and semblance, are to this hour the basis of man's life, and on those, through never such strata of these, man and his life and all his interests do, sooner or later, infallibly come to rest, and to be supported or be swallowed according as they agree with those. The question is asked of them, not, how do you agree with Downing Street's an accredited semblance? But, how do you agree with God's universe and the actual reality of things? This universe has its laws. If we walk according to the lawmaker will befriend us. If not, not. Alas, by no reform bill, ballot box, 5-point charter, by no boxes or bills or charters can you perform this alchemy. Given a world of knaves to produce an honesty from their united action, it is a distillation, once for all, not possible. You pass it through alembic after alembic, it comes out still a dishonesty, with a new dress on it, a new colour to it. While we ourselves continue to valets, how can any hero come to govern us? We are governed, very infallibly, by the sham hero, whose name is Quack, whose work and governance is plausibility, and also falsity and fatuity, to which nature says, and must say when it comes to her to speak, eternally no. Nations cease to be befriended of the lawmaker when they walk not according to the law. The Sphinx question remains unsolved by them, becomes ever more insoluble. If thou ask again, therefore, on the Morrison's pills hypothesis, what is to be done, allow me to reply, by thee, for the present, almost nothing. Thou there, the thing for thee to do is, if possible, to cease to be a hollow-sounding shell of hearsays, egoisms, purblind dilettantisms, and become, were it on the infinitely small scale, a faithful discerning soul. Thou shalt descend into thy inner man, and see if there be any traces of a soul there. Till then there can be nothing done. O brother, we must, if possible, resuscitate some soul and conscience in us, exchange our dilettantisms for sincerities, our dead hearts of stone for living hearts of flesh. Then shall we discern, not one thing, but, in clearer or dimmer sequence, a whole endless hosts of things that can be done. Do the first of these. Do it. The second will already have become clearer, doabler. The second, third, and 3,000th will then have begun to be possible for us. Not any universal Morrison's pill shall we then, either as swallowers or vendors, ask after at all, but a far different sort of remedies. Quacks shall no more have dominion over us, but true healers and heroes. Will not that be a thing worthy of doing? To deliver ourselves from quacks, sham heroes? To deliver the whole world more and more from such? They are the one bane of the world. Once clear the world of them, it ceases to be a devil's world, in all fibres of it wretched and accursed, and begins to be a God's world, blessed and working hourly towards blessedness. Thou for one wilt not again vote for any quack, do honour to any edge-gilt vacuity in man's shape. Cant shall be known to thee by the sound of it. Thou wilt fly from cant with a shudder never felt before, as from the opened litany of sorcerer's sabbaths, the blackguardism elsewhere audible among men. It is alarming to witness, in its present completed state. And quack and dupe, as we must ever keep in mind, are upper side and under of the self-same substance. Convertible personages. Turn up your dupe into the proper fostering element, and he himself can become a quack. There is in him the due prurient insincerity, open veracity for profit, and close sense for truth, whereof quacks too, in all their kinds, are made. Alas, it is not to the hero, it is to the sham hero that, of right and necessity, the valet world belongs. What is to be done? The reader sees whether it is like to be the seeking and swallowing of some remedial measure.